the reasons why the Bills can win the Super Bowl this year.
Your chances of being convicted, felony or misdemeanor, seem to be significantly higher if you were an all-rookie team member. With that in mind, I was going to read some career stats, fun fact, and then their arrest, and see if you could identify these former Pro Football Writers of America all-rookie team members.
All right, let's do it.
Gronk hurt. Gronk done. What are the chances of a 13 seconds like meltdown again? Probably lower than they were before that happened. Right?
I don't know. What were the chances of too many men on the field for a field goal? What are the chances that you have the worst fake punt attempt of all time when you got one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time on your team? I don't know. How much do you have to learn? How much do you get to learn?
It's not another Buffalo podcast, hosted by three of the most underqualified sports personalities this side of the canal. With John.
All you people out there who are like, these idiots don't know anything. First of all, you're right. And second of all,
I'm just a dad talking in a closet, but I'm just saying.
And Brando.
We have this trust built on whatever it is, like Bibles and gold bricks and whatever Brandon Bean's drinking over there.
All right, welcome back to Not Another Buffalo Podcast. I'm John. I'm here with the full gang, my buddies Pat and Brando. We're here on a Monday evening this week, so hopefully we'll get this out a little bit ahead of time so you don't have to wait till Friday to hear this. You can find us on all platforms at Not Buff Podcast, and want to let you guys know this episode is brought to you by Small City Realty. If you're looking to buy, sell, or manage property in Western New York, you got to contact Zach Korzelius at 585-409-1088. That's 585-409-1088. 1088. Zach is the best. So check him out. I'll put that number in the show notes and his email as well if you want to reach out to him about, again, buying, selling, property management in Western New York. So boys, it's been 2 weeks. We took a week off for the first time in like forever. I don't know. Did we take a week off earlier in this off season? Maybe.
I missed a week.
I don't know. And I was going to say, I don't think we actually have, because I think we just kept rolling after rumblings went down. It is good to take some time off in the off season when nothing is happening, but we are getting some good Josh Allen clips. Yeah.
I was what's happening? Josh Allen's golfing.
That's what I'm saying.
World to see. Have you followed any of this?
Yeah. How can you not? And the clips are showing up at the top of my feed. It's great. He's like, my only question is like, when is Josh Allen going to host SNL? Like
it's good. Over under 2 times in his life.
Yeah.
This year? Like this season?
No. I say in the next 10 years, over under 2 times.
I feel like he's funny enough that he would probably write a sitcom or like a Ted Lasso-esque like TV show about his time in the NFL. I feel like would maybe be like
that would be awesome.
Impact.
That would be great. His equal parts really like funny. Andy Dwyer and like I don't know what else, but
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. The clip where he freezes.
Yeah.
Like,
it's hilarious. Yeah.
It's so good.
Can I give you guys some of the golf stats from this week that he's playing in this tournament? So it's called the American Century Championship, and it's 90 sports and entertainment celebrities. I want to say Steph Curry played really well in this before, Tony Romo. So last year he finished 37th. He posted the best Friday score of any NFL quarterback last year. Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Derek Carr, John Elway, Tony Romo are all there. So anyways, he's in 19th place right now. And it's called a Stableford scoring format. Have you ever heard of that with golf? Stableford scoring format?
No. Does it mean that Josh can, if Josh is sandbagging out there, he might get a couple extra points?
Well, he's not going to be like Aaron Rodgers, and he's not going to lie about his handicap because Josh is the golden boy. So
that is an Aaron Rodgers thing to do, isn't it?
And I want to say it was Allen that called him on it. They called him out on it. Because
really?
Like, yeah. Allen's like a 10 handicap, which is cool because I'm also a 10 handicap. But 10.7.
Really?
10.7 on the gin.
No, Brandon, I'm not doubting you. I'm just impressed. Like,
it's golf.
I
36 holes a day, and over 2 weeks he'll do it to you.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's besides the point. You get Stableford scoring format. It's not your traditional stroke format. It's based on points. You want to have the highest score, which is interesting because that's not how we keep scoring golf. So a par is 2 points. A bogey is 1 point. A birdie is 3 points. An eagle is 4 points, and it goes up and so forth.
So you basically you don't get punished for blow up holes is the
correct.
Long and short of that, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He had 8 bogeys, 1 double bogey, and had 3 birdies, and then he had the chip in for birdie. He's in a group with Austin Reeves from the Lakers, and you see him hit the basketball shot.
Yeah,
You see that?
that was pretty good. Josh Allen is better at all sports than us.
But I would name my entire future bloodline Allen or Patrick or whatever, just to play around with Josh. I think it would be really cool. Joshua, Patrick, Allen.
You and the rest of Buffalo.
Right. You got one Josh, you got one Allen, you got one Patrick. That's my 3 boys. Right?
All right. This has been Brando Burps Through Some Stats, brought to you by Small City Realty.
That was tough. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
It's all good, man. It's actually, I think that's the same event that Kyle Williams finished second in a bunch of years back. Is this the one that's in Lake Tahoe?
No, it is.
I want to say Kyle Williams was on like the Pro-Am maybe or something like.
Yeah, it might have been a different Pro-Am or something like that. But
that's anyway. Actually, you're right. It's the Eaglewood Tahoe Golf Course. But I want to say, it is. You're right.
Probably the same event. Yeah.
Damn.
I want to say that was like 5, 6, 7 years ago, maybe. I remember
and
watching
he does the one at Pebble Beach where it's the Pro-Am golf tournament.
Right. Yeah. He's gotten paired with like Mitchell, whatever his name is.
The PGA guy.
Yeah. The only guy who wears a visor on the PGA Tour. That guy.
Good for him. Yeah.
Visors, in or out? Good, bad? Are visors going to come back?
I like visors. I don't think they're ever out.
Yeah, I've visors.
I feel like visors are like the perfect example of an elegant solution to a problem that does exist that just fails miserably in the process, right? Because it's like, it's for guys with flow. Like Pat's working some flow right now that would fall around a visor very well, but could get crushed by a hat, right?
Yeah.
You take the hat off, he's got sweaty hat hair after playing around a golf.
Ponytail or man bun on top.
So I've seen Pat in a visor many times.
Yeah. But I could see
John
Brando in a
guy.
visor. I feel like John could be a visor guy though too. Almost more so than a hat guy because you have the flow at the top.
I don't know, but also I think the problem with the visor is my forehead is so big. I'd have visor then forehead gap then hair. So I think the visor needs to come down to cover the top.
That's like a
your
tennis
hair needs to
essential,
cover
though.
it needs to cover the top of the visor.
That's hilarious. I think we're hat guys, John, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. I don't even know if I'm like officially a hat guy because it's like I wear it for golf, but I used to be a Bills hat guy. I used to wear Bills hats all the time, but that's when I had longer hair. Now that it's short and nothing comes out, I look like I don't know. I feel like I look like Caillou wearing a baseball cap. I don't know. But anyway, we got a quick episode for you guys. It's the dead heat of summer. We're not going to dig up some stats and bore you guys to death. We're going to convince you.
We're going to learn about the Stableford scoring format in golf.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I can help you guys out and cut some of that out. But I'm just kidding, Brando. We want to convince ourselves that the Bills can win the Super Bowl this year. So we're going to go through this list that I put together, and then Brando and Pat can call me stupid. The reasons why the Bills can win the Super Bowl this year.
It's like building a bull thesis for a stock, right? You have the short thesis, so you think it's going to go down. The bull thesis, you think it's going to go up. And whichever analyst can write the report better, that's where the money's going to go. So we're going to hammer the Bills here and hammer them in a good way towards the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. And obviously this is a little bit pie in the sky, and these are not all backed up by solid statistics, but it doesn't mean it's any less valid. We are all for narrative shaping at this point of the year. We got to have new narratives. What's this week's narrative? Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. So anyway, let's just start rolling off some reasons. Number 1, Josh Allen is too good not to. When have you heard of the consistently second best quarterback in the league not getting to the Super Bowl? And is this year 7 for him?
Yeah.
Year 7 going into year 7.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, Brando, you always bring up the stat about how no coach QB combo has made the Super Bowl past their 5th year for the first time, right? Is that the correct stat?
Yeah, no quarterback coach combo has won a Super Bowl after their first 5 years together. So if you've won it in your first 5 years, you could win it again after that window goes by. But if you don't win it in that first 5 years, they've never won it.
All right. So, sorry, I'm going to try to explain this really quick because I don't know what this concept is called. So I'm going to sound really dumb. But there's this concept of looking at success where you only look at people like success stories and you forget about it. I think it's called like the dead body effect or something like that. Like you only see the survivors and you miss all the dead bodies along the way.
Yeah.
You only look at success stories and you don't look at the people who did the same things who also failed. You just look at the success stories. So I feel like it's a little bit of that way in the NFL as well, where it's like, or this particular stat. And obviously we're dealing with a limited set of data being the Super Bowl era. What are we on? Super Bowl 58, 59? I don't even remember.
It's getting up there.
It's getting up there, but it's like less than 60 years of history, right? So a coach, usually if they don't, a coach who doesn't make the Super Bowl for 7 years is usually getting fired, right? But they haven't had as much like mediocre success as Sean McDermott has, right? And I don't want to downplay it by saying mediocre success. Like the Bills have been the second best team of the last 5 years, no doubt, and they just haven't gotten to the big game because of the Chiefs, because the Chiefs are the number one best team of the last 5 years, right? But usually, if they haven't made the Super Bowl, these teams have down years, right? So Bills just haven't had, like, their down year has been losing in the divisional round. Like that's where they've gotten the last few years. So, they haven't had wild card exits. They haven't had anything besides that. So anyway, Josh Allen is too good not to. Number 2, curse of OJ has been lifted. I feel like it's okay to say that now. I feel like we're past the, I don't know what the statute of limitations is on making OJ jokes now at this point, but I don't know. OJ curse lifted. There's other curses that were lifted this year. I'm trying to remember what are some other big changes that have happened this offseason. You guys got to help me out.
The spirit of Richard Simmons will invigorate
right.
Buffalo Bills roster. Yes.
Right. Wow. No, I love it. Anyway, let's keep flying through this list. Sorry, I'm going slow here. Number 3, injury luck was the worst it's ever been in the Josh Allen era last year. Correct? Yep. Undoubtedly.
Yep.
So that's bound to be better, right? Just on a statistic, I don't want to jinx anything here, but on a statistical basis, it's like, it's probably going to fall somewhere in between their best year and their worst year. And even that is better than their worst year, which was last year. And not to mention that the average age of this team is going to go down a couple of years because of all the older veterans that were let go in the process.
Yeah.
So,
and you think that for every other team in the NFL, and I don't ever wish injuries on anybody, but the Bills have not gotten a break. Well, I'm lying because we played backup quarterbacks in the playoffs. We played Skylar Thompson and we played Mason Rudolph. So I guess you could say that. But around the league, whoever's available in December, whoever has the most players available in December goes on the biggest run, right? I mean,
or
Mahomes
January.
has been lucky. January, December, you got to get to January, right? If you to play healthy in December, so that's going to be a huge factor. We can't have AJ Klein out there in a playoff game again.
That's just when I remember that, I'm like, I'm less mad about losing to Kansas City because it's like, what are you going to do? Like our star linebacker who came out of nowhere and was like the heartbeat of the defense last year just, wasn't available. And, Matt Milano also wasn't there too. So
that's a good point. I forget it too. And I was listening, to what everybody was saying. And it's like, you can't get over the hump. The windows are closing. I'm like, no, we were there. We were like on the top of the hill. And then somebody popped our tires and, it started raining and we couldn't make it up the hill. It's like, we were there. Like you cannot help with injuries. The only thing you can do is have that next guy up ready to be prepared. And I feel like McDermott has always done that. It's not that AJ Klein gets caught out of place. It's that he doesn't have the foot speed. He doesn't have the genetic gifts of God that Matt Milano has, or, whoever else, no offense to AJ Klein, but he was on a vacation. He's on vacation. So, so before that game.
Right. Exactly. Next one. No team has won 3 straight Super Bowls and Travis Kelce is 1 year older. I just combined that into one reason. That feels good, right? How old is Travis Kelce?
He's got to be close to 35.
Hopefully he's done lots of drinking on the Taylor Swift tour recently, right? Like just,
he did some tap dancing. I feel like that's an injury waiting to happen.
That's true. That's true. Got to make
34.
sure. 34? He's getting up there for a tight end. How old was
Well, like Tony Gonzalez played till he was like 40 years old. So
I was going to say Tony Gonzalez is probably not a great example to pull up.
Antonio Gates was older too, but Gronk was done early, right? He did the little comebacks here and there, but
right. Gronk could have kept playing if he wanted to, probably, but was like,
Brady's his guy. He lined it. No, he said it. He's like, I'm not coming back if it's not for Brady.
Right.
So
he's like, Gronk hurt. Gronk done. Next up, if you want to look at this situation this way, Sean McDermott has learned to be aggressive and has learned from his mistakes. So what are the chances of a 13 seconds like meltdown again? Probably lower than they were before that happened, right?
I don't know. What were the chances of having too many men on the field for a field goal? What are the chances that you have the worst fake punt attempt of all time when you got one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time on your team? I don't know. How much do you have to learn? How much do you get to learn? We've done this conversation before. It's like your rookie head coach got to get through the learning curve.
I mean,
but think of all the years we're through now.
But we're a fan base traumatized though of saying like, let's go from Wade Phillips to Greg Williams, right? Try to get over that hump and then you don't make the playoffs again for 17 years. Not to say I'd be complacent with where we're at now, but I mean, I guess that is kind of what did.
It is. It is the what are you going to do instead?
Yeah, two in the hand, one in the bush, or one in the bush, two in the hand, whatever.
I don't know.
But you think about the standard, right? You talk about it earlier. 5 years is the line for quarterbacks and coaches, but this franchise has never seen the stability like this before, and I'm sure Terry Pagula is very happy with that. And to have somebody else come in that's not McDermott, are you cool being a division champion and a playoff loser? You know what? We might get one. You got to be there. You have to be there to have a chance to win. So I'm cool winning the division and beating the Dolphins again and the Patriots again and the Jets. Hopefully they don't sneak one out on us this year. But at what point do you really take a look at the standard? Because I feel like we have played up to a championship team standard. So it's the bird brain stuff. If any more of that crap happens, Sean McDermott's got one mistake left, right? Like he's
well, you say that, but like here's the alternative too, and this if anything depresses me a little bit. And sorry, this is trying to be an upbeat episode here, but like Joe Marino says it all the time. He's like, okay, imagine you fired Sean McDermott. You said enough is enough, big mistake. Who's in charge of this coaching search? Like Brandon Beane, but do you trust Terry Pagula, who hired the soccer coach to coach his hockey team, who hired Rex Ryan? Like that track record, he got lucky with McDermott in the first place. Are you going to trust him to make
who says
a good
Beane
decision?
Even sticks around because they have that.
Beane's not the problem, man. Beane didn't make a mistake on the roster. Maybe he was with the draft picks.
I'm saying Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane coming up together. Who's not to say that he doesn't step out if Sean McDermott is relieved of his duties?
Yeah. And you have to think that that call is coming from the owner. Brandon Beane's probably not going to fire McDermott himself. If he even have the power to, because he's second in, he was second in. Sean McDermott was here first.
I don't know.
I'd love to ask him. Be like, hey, who fires who here in this situation?
What are the chances they've never talked about it?
It's probably like you work in SUNY and they'll just put them in opposite ends of the building and give them slightly different job responsibilities so that they don't have to, interact with each other. And then eventually, hopefully it'll work its way out and,
Right.
Both administrators fire themselves. Yes. But
I think the only one, give me Ben Johnson, but I'll take McDermott being aggressive. Like you said, he's learned it.
But like, what is the alternative though? Because it's like, and not to say
Ben Johnson.
Let's say you get younger. You say, let's get younger. Let's get someone like, and
I don't care how old they are, man. We talk about
Mike
this
McDaniel he gets like slapped by Sean McDermott all the time on like some Birdbane plays. So it's like, who else are you going to bring in there that's going to be, and I understand there's got to be someone better, but like
there's always going to be somebody better though.
Right.
So
we just need good enough for 1 year before I die. Like that's
we got 1 year in the next 8 because Allen's 28. I need one in the next 8.
Yeah. No, that's
I want
fair.
your son to see a championship, Pat. All right.
Yes, son.
All right, next up, Joe Brady was hindered by Ken Dorsey's offense, and with a full offseason to install his system, offensive dominance will be much more consistent.
Can you say that again? Did you say Joe Brady was hindered?
Yeah. So he's running Ken Dorsey's offense last year, picked it up midseason, wasn't expecting to do that. So now he's got a full offseason to install his own offense, work with Josh. And for that reason, this offense is going to be more consistent. It's going to be, and honestly, consistency is the huge thing because it's like we still have the Josh Allen power, but I mean, there were just some games where it's like the 3 and outs kept coming and it just looked abysmal. And every team has that. You know, I don't want to, most teams have that more than the Bills do if you look at the numbers. You know, even the Chiefs had terrible offensive struggles last year, but, the way that the offense was able to, I know we keep going back to 2020 and 2021, but if you're able to stay on the field as consistent as that offense was, like, it's going to be pretty exciting. So, especially in a league that's kind of shifted back towards defense a little bit, like, it's ebbed and flowed and it's kind of come back a little bit, scoring is back down to where it was at like 2019, stuff like that. So
I have a quote here actually from Deion Dawkins from NFL.com, and he said it's about the changes. Actually, they spun it into be a slight at Stefan Diggs, which is funny. I just think that's a stretch. But it's so the quote is, Josh is one of those guys that will do what it takes at that moment. Dawkins said it. He's definitely a barker when that time comes. I've actually seen the bark a lot more at this OTAs in the summer here, where he's been very, very verbal because our team is different. It's different. We've got some young dudes that when they come in, they see a little bit of a success and they can change. So Josh is doing exactly what he should do. So they're saying Josh wasn't so verbal before with Diggs there and they were kind of on eggshells, but now Josh is taking an ownership, which I call baloney, because when Brian Daboll left and Ken Dorsey was here, they said the same thing then, where like Josh Allen's leading this offense. He's kind of doing the same sort of stuff, but now he's leading it in a different way, right? We get to see a new wrinkle to it, but that's just baloney about the Diggs part. But I just thought it was interesting because Allen fits that bill too. He threw less turnovers under Brady, and Kincaid played better under Brady, and James Cook played better under Brady. So what else could you ask for? Give me 16 games of it, 17 games of it.
Right. Well, you transitioned pretty well into Kincaid because it seems to be that a star tight end has been a little bit of a factor on recent Super Bowl winners. So Dalton Kincaid, year 2. I mean, obviously we were all happy with his year 1. I mean, what if he takes that same kind of jump that some of these Bills players have taken in their second and third years? And, if he's as star-studded as we think, maybe he takes that leap in year 2, and then maybe we've really got something there. So
we got something there.
That's something to be excited about, I feel like. And you're not worrying about like, oh, where's he going to get his touches in this offense now? You're not worried about, oh, how can we engineer throws to Dalton Kincaid 3 times a game because the volume is going elsewhere? He's going to be the guy. Like, people are setting 140 target predictions for this guy. So, good, bad, or indifferent, like he's going to see the ball a lot this year. So
can I say 2 things on this real quick? So Kincaid said a comment, and he said that he expects, his exact words, because he was talking about the offense being different without Diggs. He's like, well, I expect probably a couple more targets this year, which will be nice. And I was like, a couple? You think you're going to get 2 more targets than you got? Well, you're going to get 100 more targets than you got. And then Nate Geary, actually, former Rumblings content creator, I guess you call him, or WJR. He was talking about this stat that he pulled. So he took the splits between Ken Dorsey and Joe Brady, and he took Joe Brady's passing game numbers for Kincaid. And then they were trying to project next year's stats. So they took that sample size of 12 games, and they ran it over a 17 game season. And then they increased it by 10% for his second season jump. And the numbers were crazy. It was 95 catches for like 1,050 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Wow.
And I think there was only, they did this on GR today, so I'm not trying to steal it, but they said there's only 2 tight ends that led their team in receiving, and none of them had 1,000 yards last year. And it was Travis Kelce and Tracy McBride, and they were in the 900 yard range. So if Kincaid has a season like that, it's 10% better for 17 full games. He was 3rd in the NFL in targets over 20 yards, but not in the catches. So the opportunity was there. Josh Allen wants to get him the ball. Yeah. So I think if he can capitalize on these, you could see a tight end 1, tight end 2 in fantasy, and potential 1,000-yard receiver. My next question is Kincaid and Samuel go over 1,000 yards? Do you have two?
No. I still think Kincaid over 1,000. Sorry. I think Samuel's going to be good. I'm really excited about it. And I'm also excited, like maybe I can, if Samuel's on the board in fantasy and I'm up to pick, I know who wants to trade up for him. So
I'm taking him in every best ball draft I've gotten, man. I've got him in like 4 of my 6 leagues so far.
All right. Well, hopefully we're not looking at a Galladay situation here where,
it's like Kincaid. What's a team name for Dalton Kincaid? I don't even know.
Oh, I don't even know.
Well, we'll ponder on that, John. You keep going on your list. Yeah.
All right. We got 3 more here. Let's pound them out. All right. Number 8, Chiefs are due for a playoff disappointment and Bills are due for the opposite. I mean, come on, guys. How many years has it been? Chiefs not disappointing in the playoffs, even after having a mediocre season. Think they're due. Bills disappointing in big games, but not in, embarrassing ways since the Bengals game, I guess. But
it was set up for them to disappoint. Freaking Chad Henne, right? He comes in, converts a 4th and 1 against the Browns, right? The Browns had him. The Browns had him. Who was the other team? There was 2 games that the Chiefs should have lost.
If you go way back, I want to say they were down like 24-0 against the Texans. Yeah. There was that. Sorry, I'm glad you guys corrected me because I was about to say Ravens. I got that wrong. But anyway,
tough.
Two more. We got this. Number 9. Josh is tweaking his throwing motion, and we all remember what happened last time he did that in an offseason. We got the 2020-21 air raid offense and Super Josh. So, whose eyes lit up like freaking Thor in the Avengers movie. Yeah.
Terminator style. Now, John, again, over-under set for Josh Allen on DraftKings is 3,750. 3,750 yards total passing for the year. It's not financial advice, but if you want to take a second mortgage out and hammer that number, that would be his worst season of all time, I think, except for his rookie year, his worst season ever. And if he's tweaking that throwing arm, I like what we see.
I do too. All right, you guys ready for number 10? It's really complicated. Number 10. It's time. That's it. It's time. And there are people who have waited a lot longer on this earth than we have for a Buffalo Bills Super Bowl. And those who have gone before us who never got to see one, like them and mine too. It's time. It's time. I'm ready for it. Like sometimes I forget about how, like what it would look like and how that would feel. Like I'm usually reminded when I see videos of other teams winning the Super Bowl or something like that.
Yeah.
But
you better believe
who I think of?
Sorry, go ahead, Pat.
We're going to buy every piece of Super Bowl, like memorabilia too. If we do win it, we're gonna have like the bandanas and the jackets and the socks and the book and the autograph.
Well, if they lose, I want to buy one before they ship it off to third world countries too. Like,
I feel like if they lose and you put it on, it's just gonna break your heart every time.
You're right. You're right.
What you said though, John, is it's time. You know who I think of when you say that is the American television guy, Tim Russert. I just looked it up. Tim Russert. And he would always end that. Yep. And he would always end his thing with, it's our time now. And then, he gets heartbroken. So win it for Tim, Josh Allen, win it for Tim. Yeah.
Not to be partisan, win it for Wolf Blitzer too. The Wolf is.
Yeah. Wolf's a big Bills fan. Yeah.
But, well, I was thinking.
Win it for us. Win it for not another Buffalo podcast. Come on.
No.
Well, I was thinking maybe if we have some rookie star power that we could bring it home. I was taking a look. So
Pat, I'm going to transition for you. So because Pat gave me the little intro to this in our text thread, and I think this is hilarious. So Pat found. Let me read this. Pat found a correlation. So. Anyway, you got to tell me what. So you said Rashee Rice, Jordan Addison stuff. So what happened with Jordan Addison?
He fell asleep at the wheel.
Pulled a classic.
No! Is he okay?
Carlos Dunlap. Yeah.
Is everyone else okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good. All right. So it's fair. Fair game.
He's a Pro Football Writers of America All Rookie Team honoree in the past, as is Rashee Rice. So I was like, all right, let's see. And there's a strange correlation. A lot of these guys go on to be legends, but also your chances of being convicted for felony or misdemeanor seem to be significantly higher if you were an all-rookie team member. So with that in mind, I came up with a couple, over the past 15 years, there's been a bunch of them, a couple recognizable names. I was going to read some career stats, fun fact, and then their arrest, and see if you could identify these former Pro Football Writers of America all-rookie team members.
All
right, let's do it.
All right, let me see here. So this first player is a 2004 all-rookie team member, five-time Pro Bowler, led the NFL in sacks 2 times. He's on the Minnesota Vikings Hall of Fame, and he appeared alongside Johnny Knoxville in Jackass 3D. This
Jared
player was...
Allen?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
this player was arrested/charged for DUI a total of 3 times in 5 years. The first was in Pocatello, Idaho on May 11th, 2002. He was then arrested twice within 5 months in Leawood, Kansas in 2006.
These guys didn't have Uber, though.
So I was going to say, Jared Allen shouldn't have a license, though. Is what we've deduced here.
I mean, he paid it forward, though. He does like the rookie whatever spiel about
I like Jared Allen.
Me.
Yeah, he's a good dude. But it's different. You know, in 2001, you ever hear the stand-up guy? He's like, yeah, I mean, it's 2001, you know, you didn't. He's like, we had to drive drunk. He's like, otherwise you're sleeping on your buddy's floor with no pillow.
True, no
you
cell
can't go
phones.
home,
They
no
had
cell
cabs.
phone.
They had
Well,
cabs.
you know, cell phone. You know, you don't have a cell phone. He's like, right now, if you drive drunk, you're just an idiot because you can't get on Uber. It's just at your fingertips. There's no reason for it.
This you're right. There are much better tech solutions. I have to tell you guys this story. So we were in Iceland. We went to this distillery. We thought we were just going to tour this distillery and try like a little bit of Icelandic whiskey, and it was going to be
5
great.
minutes later, John's hammered.
So apparently the other people that were there like didn't show up for the tour. We're me and my significant other are the only people there. And this guy's got like a handlebar mustache. He's super nice. And he's like, we have like 10 different kinds of whiskey and schnapps here. And, and schnapps is different over there. But like we have 10 different types of hard liquor. And you're going to try them all. And
Game on.
And we were getting dinner after this, right?
No food in the belly.
No food in the belly. So we drink all this whiskey, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna call. We had it's they have a taxi service there that we used. They don't have like Uber or anything like that. Yeah. And so we were gonna pull up the taxi service on our phone, which has a really rudimentary app, but it doesn't really work really. He's like, no, check this out. There's a button. There's a single button in the distillery that you just push and a taxi will come and pick you up and bring you to where you go. I was like, we need this button in all the bars in America. Yeah. It was great. It was great. And actually, I don't want to go too long.
Did it come on time?
It did. It came up, and this guy was awesome. He was from Latvia. We talked about Zemgus Girgensons for the entire time.
Wow.
He's like his favorite player. He loved hockey, and he used to stay up late at night to watch the Sabres because he loves the Latvian locomotive. Girgensons is obviously this is before
the Latvian locomotive. Wow.
Yeah.
Girgensons a locomotive, maybe like a Model T or something. I don't know about locomotive.
Yeah. But that was hilarious. They had a button.
Story.
I like the button.
Yeah.
So Pat, all right, you got some more for us, right?
Yeah. So this next player, first team All-Pro 2014, 2-time Pro Bowler in 2013 and 2014, PFWA All-Rookie Team 2011, BCS National Champion and National Championship Game MVP 2010. He was also a guest patient on a 2023 episode of Dr. Pimple Popper. On May 5th, 2014, this player was arrested on charges of possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. Later in the same summer, June 3rd, 2014, this player was arraigned on charges over a car accident stemming from an alleged drag race with his teammate.
All right, we're talking 2010. So my first thought when we think of 2010 is either Alabama, it's SEC school.
He's an Alabama guy.
Mark Ingram.
Close. Teammates.
It's not Sam Bradford, is it?
No, Sam Bradford's Oklahoma.
So
this guy was an All-Pro. He was an All-Pro in 2013 and 2014.
Richardson, was there running back Richardson?
Not Trent Richardson. This guy also was, upon being traded, had a little bit of a career resurgence, made a little bit of a playoff run.
Being traded.
Was drag racing his teammate for the second arrest.
I feel like I remember hearing about this.
You guys would know him. I don't want to blow it.
It's not Marcel Darius, is it?
Marcel Darius, yes.
It is.
Wow.
Okay, I remembered. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was from BCS.
Do you remember he went through some stuff though? Like he had a tough way through the world. So he raced his way through it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I liked Marcel Darius when he was here.
Yeah,
I have a signed helmet. I got a signed helmet and then the Bills cut him. So I was like, great.
Really?
They traded him. They traded him for like a sixth, right?
Yeah, we did him a favor though. He got to play in the AFC Championship game. We did him a solid.
Yeah.
But,
MVP of the game. Interesting.
Yeah. It must have been a pretty boring game, honestly. Defensive tackle MVP.
It was a blowout, right? Who did they play? 2010, is that like Colt McCoy's Texas? Is Ohio State? Ohio State.
I feel like that might be the Texas game where Colt McCoy hurt himself at halftime. But
it is
I don't know.
Texas. Sweet.
Good call.
Nice.
All right.
Ryan
so
Arakpo's on that team.
Ryan Arakpo. Hell yeah. He was an animal back in the day. Next player. This player was a first team. I'm sorry. He was also a 2011 All-Rookie member. He was a first-team All-Pro and Pro Bowler in 2012. He had 19.5 sacks in his sophomore NFL season in 2012. This player also had a career revival after being out of the league for a few years with the Dallas Cowboys. On January 28th.
Marcus Davenport? That's not right.
Close.
Dexter Lawrence? No, he's not him.
Let Pat finish the facts before you start guessing, buddy.
On January 28th, 2012, he was arrested for driving under the influence in Miami Beach, Florida. On June 30th, 2011, he was believed to have suffered 2 stab wounds when attempting to break up a fight at a party at his Santa Clara County residence. And then the next season went out and had 19.5 sacks.
He had back-to-back 19. Oh no, he got stabbed and then did it. Okay.
This isn't Von Miller, right?
No, I would go as
is
far
it the
to
guy?
say,
Is the guy who played opposite Von Miller?
No, it's not DeMarcus Ware. Not Elvis Dumerville either, who is like the OG like football trivia answer. This guy I would say is the Robert Griffin of defensive ends. He could have been the greatest of all time. He could have been better than Bruce Smith, I swear to God. He played on a legendary defense. He played on a defense that he played in the Super Bowl. Played on a legendary defense though, with 2 linebackers that were generational.
So on the we're talking on the
Seahawks. No, Seahawks.
Same division, but no. When you think 2010s / late 2000s best linebacker in the game, other than Ray Lewis,
Brian Urlacher.
That's early 2000s.
He was on a team with former Buffalo Bills, Ohio State alumni.
Are we talking Seahawks?
No, same division.
Seahawks. Okay, so 49ers
yep.
in that? Okay. I was going to say...
he played with Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman.
I'm trying to remember.
I'm not up on the Niners trivia.
Defensive ends from that era.
He was a legend. He
played the Ravens in the Super Bowl, probably, right? Yeah.
He ended up going to jail, came back, was kicked out of the league for a while, came back, played with the Cowboys, did pretty well.
And then the Broncos after that?
No, I didn't play with the Broncos. Just played with
you said he had a career revival with the Broncos.
Oh, with Jerry Jones.
Cowboys.
Yeah, with the Cowboys.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. For some reason I heard Broncos. I don't know.
No, you're straight. His first name is
we're gonna know this name.
His first name is a small town in Erie County, south of Akron, New York.
Holland.
Close. Small town in Erie County, south of Akron, New York is his first name, and his last name is like the most ordinary last name you could have.
Smith.
Yep.
Alden Smith.
Alden Smith.
Nice.
Alden is south of Akron. I'm going through my brain. I'm like, what is south? Warsaw?
Alden, New York. Shout out.
Who's Warsaw? Yeah.
All right. I got 2 more for you. If you can guess both of them at the same time, this is crazy. I've never heard of this happening any other time, but the offensive and defensive rookies of the year were on the same team in 2017. Both players were Pro Football Writers of America, all rookie team members. Both players ended up with felonies. The first player was the 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. He's a team sponsor and growth and engagement advisor for NASCAR. He also sponsors a NASCAR team with his Big Squeezy, a regionally owned juice and smoothie chain.
Crazy. I should know this.
On February 6, 2022, following the Pro Bowl in Las Vegas, this player was arrested and booked into the Clark County Detention Center for battery, resulting in substantial bodily harm. The incident took place at a local nightclub the night prior. Video surveillance shows the player punching a man approximately 8 times. In the aftermath, the player was ordered to pay the victim $105,000 in restitution to cover medical expenses.
That's Alvin Kamara, right?
Alvin Kamara, yep.
Yep. All right.
And then is it Michael Thomas? No, because it's defense, right?
Yep.
The defensive lineman.
He's
the Saints traded up for him in the draft the same year
he's a Ohio State guy. So this player is a 4-time Pro Bowler, 2017 Defensive Rookie of the Year. He is often remembered for being on the field at the same time as his teammate and other 2017 Pro Football Writers of America All-Rookie team member.
Marcus Davenport?
Marcus Davenport, yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Right.
He was arrested for possession of a loaded handgun that was believed to be stolen.
Oh, God. Come on, man. I remember they traded a lot to get him when they drafted him, I think. I think that's him. I could be wrong, but...
Yep. So who's going to be the Buffalo Bills? Who's going to be their all-rookie Pro Football Writers of America team?
Cole Bishop.
Cole Bishop? That's a good pick. It's a safe pick. I feel well, and then you could say, what's the guy they drafted in the 7th round, arrested for immigration fraud or whatever, but no.
When was that?
No, I was joking. I was saying when you were saying like a comical arrest, that guy that they got from the NFL. But
from England or for
like the NFL, the pathway program, the rugby player gets arrested for immigration fraud.
In all seriousness, who do you think, if we were to have one, is Cole Bishop who you would say would be an all-rookie team member on this roster right now?
Let me look at their draft class real quick.
Because I guess part of it comes into
the easy pick is Keon Coleman, right? If he has like a really good season, but there was a lot of wide receivers in this draft too that you think are probably going to have bigger roles on other teams, most likely. So
that's my thing, is he would have to play right away and he would have to be like the best at his position.
Maybe Ray Davis. I don't know.
Ring his bell.
Could be happening.
Yeah,
I don't know. I do like. I don't know what to expect for Keon. So I'm up and down every day. It's different. If you ask me tomorrow, I might say he's going to have 1,000 yards. If you ask me on Friday, I might think he has 400 yards. So I don't know.
Yeah. The other thing with Cole Bishop is he doesn't have a super clear path to the starting safety position
playing time
because they've got Mike Edwards and Taylor Rapp. So we'll see. He might be playing by the end of the year, but obviously you probably have to play the whole season to get Rookie of the Year honors and stuff like that, and or all rookie first team, whatever. But anyway, my camera's going to die really, really soon, so I'm going to try to wrap it up for us. You guys know
I got to get my laundry by 10, so that's good.
You're good. Yeah. Everybody go see Brando down at wherever he gets laundry on.
Wash and fold, 99 cents a pound at Elmwood.
There you go.
Boom.
There you go. All right, you guys can find us on all platforms at Not Buff Podcast. Again, just subscribe, like, do all the stuff. Leave us a review if you're really feeling kind. And we'll probably be, we're probably going to be off next week because I'm not going to be able to do anything. So we'll be off next week, likely back the week after that. Thanks for being patient with us.
Training camp's coming, guys. I'll be there. I'm working. I got 2 work shifts finally. Been waiting 10 years for work shifts at training camp.
All right, so you're going to be at St. John Fisher?
We're going to have a man on the inside.
Tuesday.
Brando, let me know. Come by. I'll buy you a drink.
I will.
On Park Ave.
Yeah. Sounds good, brother.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.